Welcome to the Out There Show. 7 Alien Implant Stories. Number 7. The Barbara Everhart Story. Since she was 3 years old, Barbara Everhart has been visited by two types of aliens. In a group effort with the Pleiadians present and the Grey Aliens as helpers. They implanted 2 unknown devices in her body, tracking her like a pet. One was located on her shoulder and the other at the base of her skull. One of the objects was about 7 millimeters in size. And since one was behind her ear so close to her brain, the dock refuses to operate. Number 6. The Tim Cullen Story. One day Tim Cullen was working with a hammer and hit his thumb. He went to the hospital to take an x-ray to see if he has broken a bone. When the doctor comes back, he tells him of an odd piece of metal found under his skin. He asked him if he had any prior accidents and he said no, but remembered a lost of time. 20 years earlier, one day he and his wife witnessed a UFO over their car while driving on the road. They thought they had been gone for some minutes, but it was hours when they arrived home. A surgeon removed the triangle-shaped object from Tim's wrist and it had tiny receptors coming from it. He told the doctor that the object controlled his mood and behavior at times. Number 5. The Stan Romanek Story. A lot of weird things would happen to Stan Romanek in his life. He had a lot of sightings of UFOs where he got actual video footage of the craft. Then odd things started to happen, like birds would crash into his car, his watch would stop working, and orbs following him home at night. One day they came to his door and woke him up in the middle of the night. He thought it was kids playing a trick with masks, but no, they were gray aliens. Then when he got scared, a thought popped into his head that he would be okay telepathically. And then his mind was filled with images of an apocalyptic nature on Earth. After the abduction, he went to the doctors and had an x-ray and found an implant in his neck. Also, he found snapshots of a gray alien on his camera. Number 4. The Steve Monday Story. Steve Monday remembers being visited by aliens since he was 3 years old. He said he has had an alien implant in him since he was about 13 years old. After he witnessed a UFO while riding his bike to a friend's house, where he lost time from 15 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes. His friend said when he got there, "Where has he been?" because he was lost for time and no one could find him for over an hour, and his mom was out looking. After that day he had an alien implant in his arm and it has been there ever since that day. He hasn't had the thing removed because he thinks it makes him feel special. That he has had contact with otherworldly type beings in the universe. He said the implant does not give him any problems, so he may not get it removed. When he shows the implant, it looks like a small pill under his skin with no entry marks. Number 3. The Dan White Story. Dan White experienced lots of back pain and went and took an x-ray. The doctors found a pyramid drill-shaped object that weighed 2 ounces. Also, it emitted a frequency signal higher than a human hearing capacity. Dr. Heideck removed the object and said he had never seen anything like it. It was located next to the spinal column of the patient and it had no entry scar, so it was hard to say how it got there. The doctor said in 22 years of his medical career he has never seen anything like it. The story was posted in the Santa Cruz Herald newspaper on May 12, 2006. Number 2. The Terry Lovelace Story. One day he moves to Dallas, Texas because he's retired, and he has kids that live there. He wakes up one morning and feels pain in his knee that he has never felt before. He gets out of bed and couldn't stand or put weight on his right leg, so he goes to the hospital to get it checked out. The doctor x-ray his leg and sees something and asks if he had an accident, and he said no. He had 2 objects above his knee. It was a square object with 2 electric lines coming from it, and an object that looked like a flower with a dot in the middle in front of his knee. A radiologist examined him and was baffled by it being no scar or point of entry. He said his abduction took place when he was camping in 1977 with a friend while he was a staff sergeant in the United States Air Force. Number 1. The Paul Unknown Story. Paul was out skiing with some friends and had a hard fall. He went to the hospital and got an x-ray of his hand. They found an unknown implant next to his thumb. He had a feeling that he was a wild animal or a piece of cattle when he found out he had been tagged by some unknown entity. There was no cut on his hand to implicate he was in an accident, so it was strange. In Los Angeles, Dr. Roger Lair and his associate UFO researcher Daryl Sims have studied hundreds of alien implant claims. And Dr. Roger Lair himself has removed 2 from the bodies of alien abductees. Paul also did not have a scar or point of entry where the object was found in his hand. Paul has no memory of what happened to him and why he was chosen to be tagged with an alien implant. The object was removed by Dr. Roger K. Lair, and when the analysis came back it baffled the doctors and the patient. After the analysis, the object did not match any of the 65,000 known substances in their computer, meaning it's made from an undiscovered universe or alien planet. Thank you for watching. Now please like, subscribe and share for more of the Out There Show. And check out our store, the link is in the description below the video on your phone. And if you are on your laptop, the link is also in the top right corner of the channel. This show is dedicated to Dr. Roger K. Lair for all his work on removing alien implants and finding what they are. His book is called The Alien and the Scalpel. Rest in peace, Dr. Roger K. Lair. And thank you for all your help. You will be truly missed in the UFO community.